You're listening to Bookin' Around Town with Jacques on the Audio Flow.
Eric.
Yes.
Hey. Okay, so I have been hunting you down for the last few months. Everybody, this is Eric Asher, and he is an author, of course, because we are here at Once Upon a Book, and we're doing a live video, and we're doing a podcast. So welcome to Bookin' Around Town. How are you?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm hungry. Let's just be honest. I'm hungry and I'm thirsty, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent.
Good. So you've had a really, really busy year.
I have.
I mean, what have you been doing when you're not writing?
When I'm not writing, I am usually editing.
So, yeah, that's not a vacation. That still sounds like work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you have your first book out here on the table?
I do.
Okay.
So the first book was Days Gone Bad.
Okay, I'm going to... Here's the book for those of you who can see it. There it is. Nice. So tell us a little bit, and this is Vesic Book 1.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that.
So Days Gone Bad is probably the series I'm best known for. It is a urban fantasy that follows a necromancer and his vampire sister and all the shenanigans they get into. So you've got a lot of violence, a lot of language, a lot of fun.
It sounds perfect, especially because you don't really see a lot of necromancer books out there. They're kind of few and far between.
No, I will tell you, though, there's one called Dead Things by Stephen Blackmore.
Uh-huh.
If you haven't read it, go read it. It's amazing.
Go read it, everybody.
It's amazing.
So what made you decide that you wanted to go with that paranormal creature versus, everybody's kind of using the same type of stuff. So what was the thoughts behind that?
It actually stemmed from a nightmare I had once. It was really vivid, really awful, and I wrote a short story on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that short story kind of grew into a few chapters, grew into a novel, and now there's 6 of them, and we're editing the 7th.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Like I said, you've been really busy. And so when did you write that book?
The first draft was all the way back in 2009. So
The first draft. How many drafts were there?
the first draft was pretty terrible. So there was a lot of drafts.
Like a beer tap.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
I probably shouldn't. No. Yeah, we should say
No,
that. We
that's
can use that
fine.
analogy, right?
White
Okay.
people know me.
But then your popularity really blew up, I think probably within the last, 2 years maybe?
Yeah.
And so you became familiar to me last year, but everybody knew you. And I was like, kind of this new, like, who is this guy everybody saw? Who the heck is this Eric guy everybody? I've got to know him because I got to know everybody.
I think there's still most people saying, who the heck is this Eric guy?
No, they don't. Okay, in case you guys didn't know, so we're at Once Upon a Book, and Eric took home an award last night. He also won an award last year at PenCon. So I don't think the question is, who is this Eric? It's more like, who is this Eric guy that I need to meet and find on Facebook? I'm just saying, that's how it was for me. And so we've got almost 7 books in this series.
Yes.
I want to talk about the steampunk books.
Yes.
Okay, where is that on the table?
So the first one's actually that's the hardcover of the whole trilogy right
Oh,
next to
this one?
Right.
This one.
That one.
Wait, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a hardback.
It's
Do you guys
beautiful.
know how I feel about hardback? I mean, it's just something about it. Okay, so we've got Steamborn, which is $30 for the full.
The whole trilogy.
And is it really a trilogy? Is it 3
Yeah.
books? It's
Yeah.
just 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys, this is like the second biggest book I've seen ever. Oh, you know what? Stephen King, they used to sell their books like in trilogies.
Yeah.
And those were really popular
And
because
they're huge.
yeah, and the thing about selling one big giant book is it makes you keep reading, so you don't stop. And it's like, I'm going on a binge. I'll be back in like a week after I finish the whole book.
She's giving away all my secrets over here.
It's called good marketing. But I want to copy. So let's talk a little bit about, you made the switch from the necromancer and his sister,
Yes.
and you went to Steamborn.
Yes.
So what was that like?
So Steamborn is the kind of story that I would have loved to read when I was a kid. So anime fans will probably recognize that there's influence of Hayao Miyazaki in there.
I have no idea what that is.
Especially Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which
Yeah.
you're going to go watch after this.
I am like, I'm taking notes. I'm like, what did he say? Do I need to know what that is before I read this book?
So Steamborn, you have like giant insects kind of as the livestock, and it makes for a really interesting world. And this world's kind of set up like the world ended around the Industrial Revolution, and then they rebuilt everything on steam. So it's a lot of fun.
So would you kind of say that you're a real techie guy? Like,
This is my day job.
Is it? Well, I mean, but you're right. I mean, okay, so the whole thing is, I had no idea until last year. I was like, I have no idea what steampunk is.
Yeah.
I think I was watching, I don't know, some reality show, and it was like steampunk, and you have to dress like steampunk. And I was like, well, I don't even know what that is.
Oh, was it that steampunked show?
I don't even. They had a whole show, and no, this might have been something else. It could have been like way back when another America's Next Top Model or something.
Yeah.
They had to like use these like, I don't know, straps, and they had like chains and steel. And
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know what that. What are they doing? Like, I don't know what that is. Who's wearing that? And
It's
then
awesome.
And then now there's this whole genre of steampunk.
It's gone through some waves. Like it's really popular, kind of draws back a little bit, and
well, what do you think helps highlight or increase its popularity? What makes it get to that top part of the wave?
that's a good question.
Steamborn?
Yes,
That's it.
No.
That was the answer. You're supposed to say Steamborn.
Yes, it's the pinnacle. No. If you're new to steampunk, I'd highly recommend starting with Bone Shaker by Sherry Priest.
Okay.
It's some people say it's not truly steampunk because it's not set in Victorian times.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in Europe, but it's amazing. It's a fantastic book.
So that's the basis of it, is that it's set in Europe. Is
A
that
lot of times.
okay?
Mine's not.
And it's supposed to be the Victorian age.
Yeah, mine's not that either.
Okay, but yours is totally steampunk.
It's a fluid set of rules.
Okay.
So a lot of people will change one or two things about what folks usually expect when they read a steampunk story.
But is there a such thing as something being truly something, especially if art is supposed to be something that's interpreted?
I don't think so. I think you can always blend genres.
Mm-hmm.
Now there might be stories out there where someone sticks entirely inside of one genre with no real influence from others, but I think you see a lot more. Yeah, I think some of the best books out there are really blended genres.
Yeah.
As far back as like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
It's so funny when people say as far back as The Hobbit. I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
No, it was only like...
Oh, because I'm getting ready to say, man, I'm feeling is it like more than 20? I mean, because I know Harry Potter just celebrated 20 years, right?
Yeah, because The Hobbit was
like right
around
before
World War One.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm just like that far back, and then I think about
Tolkien was still alive while we
were.
So
I'm like, how far back was that? It's so funny because I think a lot of people when they make that, when they compare the two, like me, because I don't read everything. Contrary to popular belief, everybody, I don't read as much as I would like to, and so like when I think about like Lord of the Rings or something, I'm like, oh, the movie, didn't the movie?
No,
and they're like, but you know the book
yes.
was out first.
Quite a while before that.
Like way before they decided to make it a movie, you know, it was like a book.
Yes.
Like how many years? And that's when I'm like, oh, it wasn't out that long. It's like, yeah, it was kind of like predated way before you.
Yes.
So let's talk about what's coming up next for you. I'm gonna get this copy because I keep telling everybody that I want this hardback book. So we're just gonna sit this over here so that Eric can sign it to me. It's not a giveaway. It's actually mine. I'm sorry for all of you that are listening, but I will pick up something for you. I guess I will do a giveaway. We should do a giveaway, right? We should. Yeah. But let's talk about what's next. What are you working on now? What can we expect from Eric?
So coming up is we're editing the 7th book in the Vesic series.
Yay.
So I'm really excited about that one. It's called Witch Queen's War. And it is, it's so good. It's so good.
Did you hear him? It's so good. He's like voice went way down there. That's when you know it's good. You go down an octave.
Yes. And I'm also working on the 3rd episode of the Mason-Dixon Monster Hunter series.
How did I miss that?
Well, that one right now is only, I was going to say it's only an ebook, but they recently put it in paperback as well.
Okay.
Which I don't have it in hand yet. But PennedCon. I
PennedCon.
will have it in hand.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So don't miss that.
Yes, we will not miss it. And I'm looking at this other book too because the word okay, I kind of have this thing about books with demons in it. So I'm assuming that this book has like a demon in it.
It's quite possible.
Is this part of a series? Or
yes.
Is this, okay.
That is the third book of the Vesic series.
Oh, so let me start over. We put book 1.
Yes.
And then book 2 is nope,
book
that's
2
for
L.
So we've got a fake tripod here, and it's got books.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but the name is called Wolves and
the River of Stone.
And so, does the titles kind of give away to which paranormal creature may be kind of making a appearance?
A little bit, and a couple of them.
A couple,
but others. Like book 4 was this broken world, which doesn't really tell you what's in it.
And then the battle,
rattle.
The rattle. Look, I'm like making up. That's the book that you won.
Yes.
So let's take a look at it. So you okay? I'm gonna mess it up. You won for fantasy,
yeah.
But no, there was a word fantastical fantasy. Yeah, say that
say
4
fantasy.
times.
Just say
fantastical fantasy. It's like a tongue twister. Okay, so here's the book. I love the covers. I love the covers because I think it's for readers. We like consistency with the covers. And is this the same? It's like the same. Well,
yes.
The same guy.
Same model. We actually did a casting call to get somebody that looked as much like Damien as possible. So, and Danny fit the bill.
Well, Danny, congratulations for gracing your beautiful mug on all of the books. We appreciate your service for being on Eric's book covers. And like I said, books for readers, of course, because you're a reader too. That's the first thing we see. So, of course, we like our book covers. So who designs your covers?
So the book covers, the artwork itself is done by Fat Puppy Art.
Oh, Fat Puppy.
Claudia McKinney. She's great. And the typography on Rattle the Bones was done by Indie Solutions by Murphy Ray, which are phenomenal. And she's actually getting ready to redo the typography on the older ones to make sure it matches up with Rattle the Bones for consistency.
Yeah,
as you mentioned.
Exactly. Well, I'm a font snob and a cover snob at the same time. So sometimes you'll see a book and just because it's that type of book, they use a certain font, and you're like, oh, you get again a vampire drippy, and you can't read it, and you're like, I don't know what the words are in that.
It's a nice impact font.
Yeah, it is called Impact. Don't do it, everybody. From the words of Eric Asher and Jacques, please do not impact us with that font anymore. And don't do it in bright red. It really hurts. It's very painful. I'm sorry I said that on this episode, but we were talking about fonts. It works, right?
We're all judgmental.
Oh, God. No, we're not judging. Come on, Eric, work with me. We're not judging. We're just saying what we prefer,
It's true.
It hurts our eyes.
Yeah, it can be. You don't want that clashing color in there.
You just
It's
don't.
rough.
Yeah, you just don't. Like, see, he's got a version of red, but it's not that red where you're just like, oh my God, I need some sunglasses or
like
something.
Like a neon sign out of the 80s.
It's just horrible.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with it. Just stop it with the bright red fonts, everybody. Just stop. No more bright red. Okay. Okay, so you're at this event. You've been traveling a lot. So what can you say? Did you go to some places that you had not traveled to yet? And do some, so which one? I can't ask you which one did you have more fun at, because that would be wrong.
And they're so different.
Yeah.
So what I like to tell people is there's like giant conventions, there's medium-sized conventions, and then there's really small conventions.
Right.
Probably my favorite small convention is Coastal Magic in Daytona Beach.
Okay, Florida. I figured you would say Florida.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Also, it's only like an hour from Wizarding World of Harry Potter, so I'm in.
So you're a Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
So you're a Potter.
Yes.
I
am also a Hufflepuff.
See, I was going to ask, but see, I wouldn't know how to phrase the question because I've not seen or read the books. Please do not revoke my friend card.
I'm not
so
judging.
sorry. I'm so not judging you. That's our new hashtag. I'm not judging you. But yeah, I figured that one was gonna be, because I remember when you were going and you was like, I can't do the interview yet. I'm going to Daytona, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
I guess I'll see you in. I can't. I'm on a deadline. I'll get back.
Yeah.
And so your whole
It's been crazy.
It's been really busy. So that event, so was that a lot smaller? Would you consider it more of an intimate type book signing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and it's neat. Hi guys. They do a lot of panels and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. I just asked Eric if he had any book jewelry for me to wear, and he says, no, I have a pin. But it's really a button, everybody. Okay, I'm excited. I'm going to put on my pin, a.k.a. button here. All right. Yes. All right, so Eric, so since you're at Once Upon a Book, where can we see you after this event?
So after this, I will be at Dragon Con in Atlanta.
Is that just for fun, or are you actually going as a vendor?
I don't go as a vendor, but I go as what they call an attending professional, which sounds really fancy.
Meaning you're in the industry, but you're just you get a
so I'll be on several panels and talking to people. And it should be a lot of fun.
That's fun.
This will be my third year.
Really?
And I love it.
Okay, so you like dragons? Is that what it's
I
about?
do like dragons,
did I make that up?
No. So the logos are dragons. So Dragon Con is like a giant multimedia Comic-Con. I mean, it's, I think, 100,000 people each year, approximately. So it's spread over like 5 hotels.
Wow.
They have different tracks. They focus on different things.
Are you in the building?
They have announcements.
They do have announcements. We're going to wrap up our conversation here because we want to make sure that people stop by Eric's table and pick up these books. And so I think they get intimidated while they're watching us do this interview. But anyway, so you're going to Dragon Con. This is your third year. Do you ever take any of your books? You take any cards? Are you doing any promo when you're there?
A few books, just carry them around with me and give them to fans that come out to meet me there. Yeah.
Fans to come out to meet him at Dragon Con. Oh my God, he's got a fan base at Dragon Con. Like I just squeed. I always thought that wasn't a real thing. We write squee or eek.
Yes.
Nobody says it, but I'm going to do it for you. Squeak! Eek! That's to prove to you all that you can use that. It's sort of like a hyperbole. I just did it out loud, and I made the squeeing noise. You'll never hear it again, only because Eric's here. I did it just for him. He sparked the squee. That's our new hashtag. He sparked the squee.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so then after Dragon Con, where will you be?
Then I'll be at PennCon, and that'll be my last one for this year.
And then are you going to take a vacation? What are you doing?
I will probably write another book. And then I'll be back at Coastal Magic in February.
Okay, so in between October and February, you're gonna write a book and probably edit.
And you'll probably see me on Facebook.
I'll see you on Facebook. You'll be on Facebook cracking jokes and stuff, and we'll be happy that you wore pants and because
it's always good.
It's always good to wear pants. Like that's one thing you can't forget. You can forget a lot of things, but your pants is something we would prefer that people always remember. And then shirt and shoes is kind of a close second.
Well. Yes.
Yeah. So we are excited about that. Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Booking Around Town. It's been fantastic. So we know you have fans at Dragon Con. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
So you can find me at pretty much any social media / Eric R. Asher. So Facebook.com/Eric R. Asher, Instagram, Twitter.
Consistency.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You have a website?
I do. It's erikrasher.com.
I mean, I just wanted to make sure in case he just veered a little to the left and added his whole middle name. But no, it's still an R.
Yes.
And we probably won't know. I'll ask him after I hang up. After I disconnect. What's the R stand? Probably him. He'd be like, it doesn't stand for anything. It just flowed really well with my first name. I'm really not that funny, but he's been really laughing. I'm feeling like I should go into stand up in a little bit here. But it's been so great chatting with you. Thank you so much. I'm going to shake his hand now, even though you guys can't see it. Oh, and he's got candy down there. I'm going to have some candy, and we will chat with you guys soon. Be sure that you are following Bookin Around Town everywhere. We're on Facebook at Bookin with no G, Bookin Around Town at Facebook. Also on Twitter, Bookin Around TWN, and also Instagram, Bookin Around Town. Be sure you catch all of our episodes now streaming on iHeartRadio and TuneIn, and you can download this episode at iTunes as well as Google Play. Until next time, remember, keep booking.